helping you live an ordinary life in an extraordinary way. This is Your Health with Dr. Burgandi Collins. She covers it all from health and wellness, fitness and nutrition to lifestyle, and she wants to hear from you. Log on to Twitter and Facebook now to submit your health and wellness questions and hear them answered live on the show. Just use @Dr. Burgandi. And now, here is your host, Dr. Burgandi Collins.
Hi, my name is Dr. Burgandi Collins, and thank you for listening to This Is Your Health, a show about living an extraordinary life in an ordinary way. This is our first show, so I'll begin by telling you a little bit about myself and what you can expect when you listen to this show and future shows. I'm a board-certified licensed doctor of chiropractic, and I currently practice in Northern Virginia. I'm a graduate of Life University, which is located in Georgia, and I also have a Bachelor's of Science degree from Old Dominion University. My background is in radio. I was a radio personality for about 6 or 7 years, so I have a great passion for radio. But I also now have a wonderful, great, deep passion for chiropractic as well. So I'm marrying these two loves together, and here we are today. As a chiropractor, I am concerned with health and wellness, and I'm concerned about you having an extraordinary life. So on today's show and future shows, I'll be sharing with you small changes that you can make in your everyday life so that you can have an extraordinary life and make big changes in a big way. And I have to give thanks to my right-hand man. I'm not doing this show by myself. My producer is Davion, who works with 757 Media Group, and it produces digital media such as shows like this. Now, these shows are interactive, and they belong to you as much as they belong to us. So in doing so, we are welcoming you to go to Twitter and Facebook and post questions related to health and wellness, and we will answer them, or I'll answer them, here on air. And you can find us on Twitter at Dr. Burgandi, and the same for Facebook. Now, as you listen to future shows in this show, you'll see I'm very casual, although I'm a doctor. I'm very cool and down to earth, so ask anything you want to ask. Nothing is taboo, and I'll try to provide a good answer for you. So a couple of weeks ago, Davion and myself opened up on Twitter and Facebook asking you all to submit questions or things that you would like to hear on today's show. Some of the topics included why do people get sick, what's the difference between pre-diabetes and diabetes, how can I prevent diabetes, that might have been from the same person, I don't know, what is chiropractic, and about flu vaccinations. Okay, so we'll start off with the first question, which was, why do people get sick? That's a really general question, so I will do my best to kind of narrow down an answer for you. The four main reasons I could think of why people get sick, as a doctor, I see it's because of, number one, deficiencies. People are deficient in vitamins and minerals. Either you're not eating the correct food, you're not eating the right amounts of the correct food in terms of green leafy vegetables, fruits and vegetables in general. You may be eating a lot of processed foods, a lot of fast food. And the thing about fast food is that a lot of these processed and fast foods, they don't have the nutrients that your body needs. So a lot of times if you're eating a lot of fast food, you may feel full at the very beginning, but you're soon starting to feel hungry. It's because those foods lack the actual vitamins and minerals that your body needs. So people get sick, again, because of that. Deficiencies in vitamins and minerals. The second one is a big one that a lot of people can relate to. Your brain imbalance due to stress. Stress decreases the immune system. It's a fact. In future shows, I'll go into detail about how that happens and why it happens. But stress decreases your immune system. So if you have a higher stress level, your immune system is lower. Therefore, you aren't able to fight off the normal everyday viruses and bacteria that your body comes in contact with. The third reason why people get sick, as a doctor, I believe, is toxicities. So you're coming in contact with a lot of toxic chemicals, like pesticides or chemicals, or a lot of toxic items in the food that you eat, the things that you rub on your skin, your hair products, and your body is just bombarded by all these toxic chemicals and agents that eventually breaks down your immune system and you get sick. And in future shows, you'll see that toxins include vaccinations, over-the-counter medications, and prescription drugs. So, yeah, we're going to get deep on that one. The fourth reason why I think people get sick is lack of exercise. When you exercise, your immune system goes up, you're stronger, your body's able to fight off anything pretty much it comes in contact with. And by this show being a health and wellness show, I am going to talk about exercise a lot. And yeah, you're going to like it. Okay, so that's briefly can answer hopefully why people get sick. I would add a fifth one. We could kind of go, which could kind of go with the second one with stress, is lack of sleep. Lack of sleep, it's a big killer of your immune system. So I'll talk about that in future shows as well. Okay, so the second question that we got was, what's the difference between pre-diabetes and diabetes? And then the third one was, how can I prevent diabetes? So I'm going to kind of tackle those two together. They may have come from the same person. I don't know. Or this could have been two random people that asked questions about the same topic. So let's first explain what diabetes is, because diabetes is an epidemic in this country, if not the world. The funny thing, or not so funny thing, about diabetes is that it is actually a lifestyle illness. It's an illness that is caused by a poor lifestyle. But let me first explain what diabetes is so we're all on the same page. Now, there are actually two types of diabetes. You have diabetes insipidus and you have diabetes mellitus. Those are the two types of diabetes. Insipidus refers to the one in which it's not diet related. It has more to do with the pituitary gland and an imbalance in a hormone called ADH, which causes you to use the bathroom a lot and be thirsty all the time. We aren't talking about that diabetes. The diabetes we're talking about today is diabetes mellitus. And diabetes mellitus, or DM, is actually broken down into two types of diabetes. So the first type of diabetes is what the average person will refer to as juvenile diabetes. And that's an autoimmune type of diabetes. So that means the body's actually attacking itself and messing with the whole pancreas and insulin and that whole system. The body's attacking it. So a lot of people would develop diabetes 1 as a kid, juvenile diabetes. We're talking about diabetes 2 here when I refer to the lifestyle, chronic illness diabetes. Diabetes 2 is related to poor diet, lack of exercise, and the way the sugar is taken into your body through cells and insulin. Diabetes is a major issue and epidemic in this country because the incidence has doubled over the past 20 years. Uncontrolled diabetes wreaks havoc on your body. It leads to kidney failure, blindness, death. It's a diabetes that people end up having to get a limb cut off, their foot or leg cut off. And I see this in practice as a doctor. People have diabetic neuropathy where the nerves are dead or malfunctioning. So as a result, they have tingling and numbness and lack of sensation in their feet and legs. And as a result, the blood flow is all jacked up. And so they end up having to get a limb cut off. It's a very ugly situation. But what's uglier is the fact that diabetes kills more than 300,000 Americans per year. And the sad thing about it is that most of these cases could be prevented simply by exercise and diet.
Submit your health-related questions on Twitter and Facebook now at Dr. Burgandi. That's DrBurgandi. The information provided during this podcast is not to be considered as treatment for any illness or condition. Please talk to your primary care physician for your personal health needs.
I saw an ad going around, featured Patti LaBelle, raising money to find a cure for diabetes. Well, honey, the cure for diabetes is to stop eating all this processed sugar, stop eating all this processed food, eating a diet that's based more on plant, more vegetables and fruit, less processed food and meats, and getting your exercise. Because one of the major causes for diabetes is obesity. People are fat. I hate to say it, but America, we're fat. Personally, I'm not fat. I work out, but I eat good. I eat well. But even so, generally Americans are obese. According to the CDC, 1/3 of Americans are clinically obese, and that's a problem. And kids are getting fatter at younger ages. A lot of it's due to all the sugar and the soda that we're drinking and the snacks and processed food. So on a more serious note, if you want to prevent diabetes, diabetes type 2, clean your diet out and exercise. It's really that simple. Honestly, it's not that hard. I mean, it could be hard. It is. And to be honest, it is hard to break habits. It is hard to get out there and exercise. It is hard to stop eating McDonald's or Wendy's and Chick-fil-A. Come on, let's be serious. Chick-fil-A is still fast food. Personally, I like to think that Chick-fil-A is like a better alternative to say a better alternative to fast food, but it's still fast food. And one should not be eating fast food several times a week. So if you want to prevent diabetes to answer that question that we saw on Twitter, is to clean up your diet and to exercise. And on this show and future shows, we'll talk about how you do that in simple ways, in ordinary ways, to make it easy for you. I mean, it's not easy to lose weight. It's not easy to clean your diet for most people, and we'll help you get there. Okay? And before we leave the topic about diabetes, I do need to answer the actual question, the first question, which was, what is the difference between pre-diabetes and diabetes? Now, 86 million Americans are considered to be pre-diabetic. The difference between pre-diabetes, and which is also known as borderline diabetes, and actual diabetes is just a number range. So let me break down a number range for you. The normal range for glucose in your body is less than 100. Okay. Now, pre-diabetes, that means your blood sugar is between 120 to 125. Now, once your blood sugar gets above 126, that's when you're considered to have full-blown diabetes. And lots of people, my mother included, were borderline diabetic or pre-diabetic, and they actually reversed it and got off of that entire diabetic spectrum by exercising and cleaning up their diet. So if my mom was able to do it, I'm pretty sure you're able to do it as well.
You're listening to This Is Your Health with Dr. Burgandi Collins. Do you have questions about your health or just want to stay up to date with what's current in health and wellness? Dr. Burgandi is here to answer all of your health and wellness-related questions. Submit them on Twitter and Facebook at DRBURGANDI.
The fourth question was, what is chiropractic? As a chiropractor, I can definitely answer that question. Chiropractors get a bad rep. You know, as a chiropractor, I recognize that. And being in the field, I can see why we get a bad rep. Some people think that once you go to a chiropractor, you have to go for the rest of your life. Most people think that you only go to a chiropractor if you've been in a car accident or if your back hurts. Actually, the truth is, chiropractors are actually, if you look at it, doctors of neurology. What controls your body? A kid can answer that question. Your brain controls your body. And how does your brain control your body or communicate with your body? Well, the brain does that through nerves. How do the nerves get to those organs and your tissues? They get there by coming off the spinal cord, which passes directly through the bones in your back, and they go to every single organ and tissue in your body. So let me back up. The only way that your brain can communicate with your heart, your lungs, your liver, your leg, your foot, your toe, your eyeball, is through nerves that travel directly from the brain, down the spinal cord, through the bones in your back, to those organs. So as chiropractors are concerned with maintaining the alignment of those bones in your back so that those nerves can get to those tissues and those organs effectively. Think of it this way. Think of a water hose with water streaming out, pumping super, super hard. And then imagine someone stepping on that water hose or your car tire just rolling over in the driveway. What happens to the flow of that water? The water cuts off or diminishes, right? So that's exactly how the communication between your brain through those nerves to the rest of your body happens when the bones in your back are misaligned. Misalignments occur not only due to car accidents or football injuries or things of that nature. Stress, regular movements. The bones in your back are supposed to move. There's no question about that. The question is, when those bones move, do they move back into place or do they get stuck? So when those bones get misaligned or stuck, inflammation comes to those areas, putting pressure on the nerves, and therefore the message from the brain can't get to the rest of the body. So as a chiropractor, that's what we're concerned about. We're concerned about making sure your brain can communicate with the rest of your body. You get pain in your back and various parts of your body. You get numbness and tingling, sensations in your arms and your legs. You have dysfunction of different body systems, and it can be due to misalignments in the back, putting pressure on the nerves. And that's chiropractic in a nutshell. So, as a chiropractor, I'm really concerned with the whole body, not just, oh, my back hurt or whatever, or I got in a car accident, let me call it a chiropractor. Yeah, you better call a chiropractor, but it's good to go to a chiropractor just to make sure your entire body can function the way that it's designed to function. And kids and old people and everybody in between can benefit from chiropractic. Okay. And to answer the question, speculation, you don't have to go to a chiropractor for the rest of your life. It's good to go, for your little maintenance and tune-ups, we like to say, a couple of times a year, just to make sure everything's working properly. But it's not something that you have to go 3 times a week for the rest of your life. So don't get caught up in that.
The information provided during this podcast is not to be considered as treatment for any illness or condition. Please talk to your primary care physician for your personal health needs.
Okay, the last question that we got was about the flu vaccine. Okay, there was a lot of talk in December when the CDC released a study and I found it to be kind of funny, that the flu vaccine that they have for the year, for the flu season for this year that we're in now, was not effective because they actually made the vaccine for a virus that actually isn't even out this year, really. Just to be clear, there are over 100 versions of the flu, if you want to use that word version. But there are 4 strains that this season's vaccine was targeting. And the ones that it targeted they mutated. That's what viruses do to protect themselves. Viruses adapt just like human beings adapt. So the virus, it adapted, and so that the vaccination that is out this year is not as effective. So if you got the flu vaccine, you may still get the flu, which sucks for those who've taken the vaccine. As a chiropractor, I have my own views on vaccinations, and trust, I would devote several shows about vaccinations. I personally don't get the flu vaccine, and I haven't gotten the flu because part of the reasons why is because I have a strong immune system. I take care of myself in certain areas to make sure that happens. But I can tell you some preventative measures for you to prevent getting the flu in case you got the vaccine or not. As the old adage goes, prevention is the best form of medicine. So let me tell you just a few things that you can do to in lieu of getting the flu vaccine, or if you got the flu vaccine and you just want to kind of make sure you still don't get the flu, a few things that you can do. So if you have a pen or paper, you can write it down. Not, just memorize it, I guess. Okay, so, the first thing as a chiropractor I'm going to say is get those regular chiropractic adjustments. Again, chiropractic adjustments, they can improve your immune system function. Chiropractic improves the function of all the body systems anyway. So definitely get those chiropractic adjustments to make sure your immune system can function optimally. The next thing I would suggest is that you wash your hands. It sounds easy, right? But let me tell you, I have personally been in restrooms, and I'm not actually in a stall with anybody, so I don't know what's going on in the stall. But I do know, I hear that toilet flush, and sometimes that person comes out the stall, and what do? They bypass the sink, and they just go on out the door. I'm like, oh, really? So imagine, if people aren't diligent washing their hands after they use the restroom, how often are you washing your hands just doing everyday things? So wash your hands, please, with warm water and soap for at least 20 seconds. I shouldn't have to say this, but, wash your hands, okay? Also, a thing that you can do, some people may call it, OCD, but I worked in a restaurant. They were very strict about this. Whenever you wash your hands, don't use your hands to turn the faucet. Use a paper towel to turn the faucet. Because if you don't, then if you initially touch the faucet to cut it on with dirty hands and germs, and you use that same hand that's now clean to cut it off, then you're pretty much probably picking up those same germs. So you may look OCD, but whatever. Use a paper towel to cut that faucet off. Another thing that you can use your elbow to push the door. All this OCD stuff, it sounds ridiculous, but hey, it is. That's the world we're living in. But again, if your immune system is nice and strong, you can touch all the doorknobs and all the faucets you want and be okay. But anyway, I'm moving on. So don't touch your face, your nose, your mouth with your hands. Your hands are disgusting and full of germs, and germs can enter your body through those orifices. Use hand sanitizer, which is a good thing. Oh, and here's a pet peeve of mine that you should definitely do. If I see you not do this, I'm going to move away from you. When you cough or sneeze, please, don't use your hands to cough into your hand or sneeze into your hand. It's gross. I want you to cover your mouth or nose when you sneeze, but if you could use the crook of your arm, that's better, or a Kleenex. Because, I'm telling you, how many times are you going to sneeze into your hand, and how many times do you actually go wash your hand after you do it? No, you probably pick something up, you touch the surface, and other people are coming in contact with it, and those germs are just being passed on and on and on and on. I saw an episode of Mythbusters because they wanted to see how far the mucus from a sneeze could travel, and I love that show. And they found that a sneeze can travel at more than 30 miles per hour and land nearly 17 feet away, which is gross. Your snot is just traveling, man, at like the speed of light almost. Researchers at MIT found that the sneeze droplets can land up to 2 meters away. And there's a germ cloud when you sneeze, and that can linger and travel like even farther. So, yeah, please use a tissue or a handkerchief or the crook of your elbow when you sneeze, okay? One of the most important ways you can prevent getting sick and the flu and things of that nature is to, again, have a good diet, a good clean diet. Eat dark green, red, and yellow vegetables and fruit. Those colors have a lot of antioxidant properties, and antioxidants are what you need to kill free radicals and help that immune system fight off whatever bug you may come in contact. Another cool thing I thought about was that you use, when you eat, especially in flu season, try to eat foods like during lunch and stuff that you have to use a utensil like a fork or a spoon instead of your hand. So try not to eat like sandwiches and things you have to pick up, but like eat something instead of the fork because your hands could still be dirty and have germs on them. Also, if you're sick, man, I'm going to tell you this, man, stay away from people. And if you're sick, hey, I have a strong immune system. I really don't care, but I'm going to suggest that you come get adjusted and keep it moving. Don't hang around me, man. I love you from afar, okay? Another way I'm trying to, keep the flu at bay is to clean and disinfect, surfaces that sick people have come in contact with, especially, at work or at home if you have, a little bug going around the house. But if you want to also prevent from coming in contact with, toxins and stuff, try to use cleaner products that are natural and safe. Like the 7th Generation brand, they're really good and natural. And I think Jessica Alba, she has a brand of all natural cleaner products. And if you really want to go au natural, you can just try mix it up some peroxide and water, or distilled water and or water with distilled vinegar. Most people have those items at home, so just mix up a little cocktail of that and it'll disinfect surfaces. Another way you can kind of stay away or keep the flu at bay is to get lots of sleep, because when you sleep, your immune system releases chemicals which help fight infection and inflammation. And lack of sleep or sleep deprivation decreases the immune system and the production of those signaling molecules. So get some sleep, okay? Because when you don't, those antibodies aren't as strong and aren't as plentiful.
You're listening to Dr. Burgandi. Send us your healthy selfies. Take a pic of you getting fit and send it to us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram using @DrBurgandi.
Be physically active. Again, exercising and being active helps your immune system function better. Again, manage your stress, because, again, stress can decrease your immune system. And drink lots and lots of water, okay? So important. Our bodies are made up of water, and water prevents toxins from building up in your body and decreases them from piling up in your immune system. And plus, you're flushing it all out the more you drink, so you're keeping yourself clean that way. And so, anyway, the flu season peaks in January and February, but it lasts until May. So I think in lieu of taking the flu vaccine, although I can't tell you not to take the flu vaccine, just personally I don't get vaccinated. I think prevention is the best form of medicine, so just take preventative measures to keep yourself and your loved ones healthy. And again, there are over 100 flu viruses, so yeah, there's a lot out there. Okay, so we really don't have any more questions to field today. But again, just check us out on Twitter and Facebook at Dr. Burgandi. Did I spell that for you? If you missed it, it's B as in Burgandi, Urgandi. I am looking forward to answering your questions and talking with you and getting to know you better and addressing your concerns with everything that is health and wellness related. So be sure to check out the show. This is Your Health. Again, it's all about you living an extraordinary life in a very ordinary way. And I'm very excited about sharing information with you. So I'm Dr. Burgandi. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.
The information provided during this podcast is not to be considered as treatment for any illness or condition. Please talk to your primary care physician for your personal health needs. Dr. Burgandi is here to answer all of your health and wellness-related questions. Submit them on Twitter and Facebook at DRBURGANDI. You're listening to This Is Your Health with Dr. Burgandi Collins.